Now for this next chart, we are going to see some US only data, but it is quite revealing about a fundamental change in the structure of the US economy and a type of change that people in the real estate sector are just not anticipating at all. This chart from Calculated Risk blog takes time on a horizontal axis, 1970 to present, so 53 years. And the number of housing units under construction is on the vertical axis. The red line comprises of single-family homes, suburban America, whereas the blue line comprises multifamily units. An apartment building with 100 apartments will be 100 units out of this blue line. Now at the same time, it is easier to construct multifamily housing units because they are part of a larger building. Churning out an apartment building, while larger than a house, has 100 units in it. And it's therefore more granular as well because it is fluid in terms of renters being able to renew their lease or leave for a cheaper or better place if they want. So it's a good indicator. And these two have always been somewhat correlated. This red line got out of control during the first housing bubble, 2002 through 2007, because interest rates became unusually low, but the demographics of the United States were also of a nature where people who were home buyers were the majority of the population. Baby boomers were in their peak home buying years in the build-up to this ultimate bubble top over here. Then a housing bust occurred and construction ended for a few years. Then rates going to zero again and quantitative easing to buy mortgage-backed securities was designed to prop up the housing market. But as I have described extensively on this channel, anything that the central bank does to rescue housing prices and to prop up the housing market simultaneously stimulates the construction of more housing. So they're trying to fill water into a sieve. You can see much more about that in this video up here in the upper right hand corner, although if you're watching this Data University series as a playlist, I don't recommend that you interrupt your playlist to see that. You can go to that later. And now that rates have risen again and money is being deprinted slightly, single-family homes are falling quickly again, just as steeply as they fell during the previous housing bust. But multifamily units are still rising. They are still rising. And this is interesting because they have never diverged so suddenly ever before. And a lot of this is because of this work from home phenomenon where renters can leave a lot sooner and more easily from an expensive city and work from their apartment in a lower cost location than a homeowner who is anchored to a certain place. Now, I use the word homeowner because that's the official term, but if you still have mortgage balances outstanding on your house, you do not technically own your house. You own it when you've paid off the whole home. That's one of the myths in American culture that average people have been suckered into, often to their own financial ruin. But this divergence portends to how this telework phenomenon is manifesting already. Even if only 20 to 30% of people can work from home most of the time, this divergence is already happening. Another reason for this divergence is because the U.S. marriage rate has fallen precipitously and it's not going to be rising anytime soon. And that also reduces future demand for single-family homes because there are no upcoming single families of the same number that existed 20 or 30 years ago when there were a lot of two-parent families who might purchase a single-family home. So this is a shift in the entire nature of the U.S. economy, and the blunt instrument that the Federal Reserve uses to prop up housing is already being adapted around. So if you're a homeowner or if you're in the market for a home or if you're just interested in residential real estate at all, this is something you should look at closely and probably view every month to see how this divergence manifests, because this is something of historical significance in the entire history of real estate economics and the real estate market. Thanks for watching.